you meet a man who has needs and
for example, you can have a paycheck, 2,000 goes
with the notion that I will work with Sam to build from that one mattress to the floor to a bed and a spring.
Who's our source for financial advisors?
Is it a thing where men are considering these days also, or they still just have one there?
Right? Sam, you're not even motivated like that to go and look for a job, right? But you have a net.
Mostly usually high income earners.
Ergo, not Africans?
Not that they're not Africans.
Heads up, we're here chatting and sharing our opinions, hoping to inspire, connect, or maybe even heal a little. Again, just our opinions. Some topics may be sensitive or triggering, so please take care of yourself and step away if you need to. We are not experts, doctors, or professionals, just real people sharing lived experiences and personal views. We truly mean no harm, and we apologize if anything we say unintentionally hurts or offends anyone. We do not condone violence in any form and do not support harm toward others. We can't cover every scenario, so if anything comes to mind, send us your thoughts via email or DM. You can also join us live on TikTok on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central Time. Please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking subscribe right here, like this. If this episode made you feel good, please like it and leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you. Okay, let's banter.
Hi everybody, this is your girl at Danbin Bengo, and you are welcome to another episode of the Banter Brigade. This is the podcast where the African diaspora says it like it is, from culture to chaos, from taboo to truths. It's a safe space, so every opinion matters and will be listened to. Our topic for discussion today is: does financial stability matter when picking a life partner? Okay, before we tell you yes or no, let's meet the rest of the crew. To the very, very far left is Miss Lizette. Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So good to have you.
Same here, same here.
You made such a big sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah, it was such a long drive, but dang, I can do anything for my girl, you know. Yeah, I'm so happy that, you even had it in your mind to invite me to your podcast. So, of course, I had to honor the invitation.
Because we love you.
Oh.
And I love you more.
And I love you right back. Thank you.
Thanks, welcome. Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
You look so good.
Thank you.
Mr. Fashionista, Sam Sinta, everybody. All right, the next guest is, hello. Say smile at the camera. Mrs. Dimples. Hi, Viv.
Hi,
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. You're looking so nice.
Ooh,
I love
ooh,
that dress.
ooh, thank you. All right, so we want to introduce you to our guest of today. I'm very, very, very curious to know where we land on this topic, because he's here to tell us everything about the mullah. Mr. Filippo, my very good friend. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Bango.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's
Good to see you after like 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a pretty minute.
You made such a long drive.
It wasn't too far. I enjoy driving, so.
Oh, nice.
So you can drive to Houston next time?
Not Houston.
That's 18 hours.
Yes, that's far.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're glad to have you.
It's a
We
pleasure.
intentionally invited you because we're talking money,
Yes,
and money is your forte.
absolutely.
It's where you live and breathe. So,
Definitely.
but before we get into all of that, we want to know, outside of you being a financial advisor and telling people to not eat their money today and wait tomorrow, what else about Philip do you want us to know?
Philip is dad. I have a 4-year, soon to be 5-year-old. I think he's kind of the reason why I do what I do. And then also, he has been a very significant part of my life in terms of how much transformation has happened since he was born. I'm a family person from a very close, neat family. Family of 6. And also, the things I used to enjoy has completely transformed.
Like alcohol?
Like alcohol.
Did that come with the birth of your son?
I think prior to him coming, the transformation it had already started.
Oh, okay.
But then I think when he came, it served as a catalyst for me to completely transform. So yeah.
Children will do that to you.
Mm?
They'll come into your life and destroy it and say, "Do you still be slice? But you still love them?"
Yes, yes. So yeah, but on a normal day, I enjoy being in my house. I like quietness. Yeah, I'm also a Christian. I think God arrested me in 2022.
Wow.
So that has been
That's a good arrest.
Yes, it has been a foundational piece for me. So a lot of things I do revolve around, service to God and then service to man. So I'm really happy to be here, share, knowledge and some of the things I've been helping businesses, individuals, and families as a whole to better plan and make informed financial decisions. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm probably. Do you want to go?
No, I want to just remind people of the topic
Oh, sure.
before I'll cue you in.
Yeah.
How important is financial stability when picking a life partner? Vivian.
No, I wanted the question I wanted to ask is probably not directly tied to the question is how often as a financial advisor do you get an African person or a Cameroonian person or African person on your chair like give me advice on my finances?
It is not very common with low income earners. Most people who make a significant amount of money, they're the ones who are usually looking to say, okay, how can I save on taxes? How can I start investing for my kids' college? And when you're dealing with lower income folks, a lot of times they plan just for today. So there's a lot of education that has to happen to shift your mindset from just a survival to actually striving. If you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that first survival, there is not much you can help someone until they get out from survival mode. So a lot of times I'm experiencing people who they're dealing with significant amount of debt. Some of them, they don't even know what financial advice is.
That's why I asked the question.
No, but I have a question. I'm probably took offense to something you said.
No worries.
So she asked, how often do you get Africans?
Yes.
And then you said you don't have an experience with low income.
No, not that I don't have. I said the number of people who work with financial advisors, whose source for financial advisors, mostly are usually high income earners.
Ergo, not Africans?
Not that they're not Africans. I'm talking about the African context. Mostly the high income earners, they'll be the first ones to say, okay, how can I start with this earnings? How can I make sure I structure it in a way that it can take care of my children? They can ensure that, the roof over our head will continue to be there whether they are not. We'll also ensure that if I get to retirement, I have something, but those who are low income earners, a lot of people are in survival mode. They don't think financial advice is a need at that point in time. So there's a lot of education I do to shift the mindset from just survival mode to say, hey, if you cannot save when you're making, $10 an hour,
you cannot save when you're making $50.
Yes, because money, it entails a mindset. Saving is a habit, same as, spending. So we must shift from education to get them to know that, okay, while I'm trying to survive, saving has to be a huge component. Because even if an opportunity shows itself without me having money, I cannot do anything,
Yeah, do you think, is it not because they live from paycheck to paycheck, like the paycheck can only afford
it's a mindset
to pay? Like it's a mindset, but it's the situation in which they find themselves. So you might have the mindset to save, but you don't have the ability to save, not have the resources to save. For example, you can have your paycheck, 2,000 goes for rent, this amount goes for feeding, this amount goes for groceries, this amount goes for clothing.
I can already tell you 10,000
by the
ways
time
you can save for that from that count there. Starting with the 2,000 for rent. Can you cut your budget and instead of going for a rent that will cost you 2,000, can you
the
focus
2,000
on
is just
less?
an example. Some people their rent might be 700, but what they earn can just take what they get to sustain them for that month, and they wait for another paycheck to actually carry them through. So don't you believe that people who actually live with that standard and are able
Yes,
to
definitely. So that's why it's key when you're giving financial advice. The first thing is to understand what is your financial situation? So you have to do a financial needs analysis. The people who are already stretched thin, right? And I tell people there are two ways to increase, your income. Either make more money or cut back on, your expenses. So now, once we do a needs analysis, we can see, are there areas that you could cut back? It may just be you having Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and all that. How many channels do you watch, right? You have Wi-Fi on your phone, you have internet in your office. Do you really need access? You understand? So there's so many different ways. Once we look, if we can cut back, good. But if we cannot now, from the income you're making, how can we make sure that we get you on a path where you can increase your income? Is it taking a certification? Is it maybe benefiting from certain grants? There's so many different ways you can, increase your skill set. So it's not only about you being in a space where your income is so tight. Now, while being there, what are you doing to get you to a next level, right? So for most people, even though they say the money is tight, they can find ways to still squeeze, even if it's a $10 a day. And I advise people about the concept of paying yourself first. So you go to work every single day. Most people can save $10.
Calm down. Say it again. And it's not just for the purpose of the camera, because I also want people on this set to say, say it again.
Wow.
Say it again.
The concept of paying yourself first.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
So-
you.
Right. So every day you go to work, that first hour of work, you have to call it like, your future bill for yourself. Pay it the same as you pay your phone bill, the same as you pay your light, whatever bill. Just allocate that towards that. If you have children, let's assume you make $30, $40, $50 an hour. You can allocate $20 to yourself or $25. If you have just one child, you can put, another $15 towards your college fund every single day. And then maybe for your spouse, if your spouse is not working, $10 or $15 can go towards them. So you can have a budget of $50 and call it your family's future financial bill. So you start building intentionally. So it's not about you making a lot before you can do something. Just a lot of times I've had people who come, some of them in cybersecurity, they make 160, 180,000, but they're spending over $200,000 annually. So they're not just broke, they're chronically broke. So it's essential that wherever you are, get to understand your situation and then design strategies that pertains to you. There is no one size fits all. So back to your point, some people are at a space where they're already stretched thin. But what can they do? Is either you increase your skill set to make more money, or look at other ways that you could cut back.
I think I stared off us the wrong part, because I wanted to understand something, because most of the times when you say financial anything, the first thing when Africans think about is tax, and it's how they can get more money back.
It's supposed to be a huge consideration, but it shouldn't be the end all be all. Why do I say this? When I met my ex-wife, I just moved here. So financially, I was in a space where I could do a lot. But then I had a vision of the kind of life that I wanted for myself and her as, a family. So in that space, I always tell, especially women, because this plays a key role when women are making a decision to who they choose to settle with. So it should be a consideration, not an end all be all. You shouldn't keep your relationship from moving to marriage just because that person is not financially stable at this point. So temporary financial instability doesn't equate to financial responsibility. So you have to sit down with the person. How are you communicating the vision that you both have for where you want to be? So this is a conversation, and then there has to be transparency, and then a plan that is designed to get you to that next point. So a lot of women fail to, I shouldn't just say women, but a lot of people in relationship, they fail to, take that leap of faith or go to the next step because they put financial instability as a gatekeeper. So if you're not financially stable now, I don't want you. But meanwhile, that person may be working on something that in the next couple of years, they may become a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever. But it should be considered, but not the end all be all. You have to look beyond just the money. And most people consider financial stability to mean someone who has a stable job, someone who can pay their bills, they can manage their debt. But that's one aspect. Because if that person, take for example, let's say you come now, I'm starting a business, I'm still building. money's not coming the way it's supposed to because I'm just starting out. I may not be able to pay the light bills, but I may be able to pay the bill for my office to keep things going, right? I may not be able to give you that Friday night date in a fancy restaurant, but I know I need to make payroll for my employees because that's priority at this point. So if you come now, I tell you I don't have a dime, it doesn't mean that I don't have any cash flow. It just means all the money is going back into the business. So if you now go to this person who can take you to, for context of Maryland, Spectrum Lounge and pop bottles, that may, if you're blindsided by just those shiny things, you may want to go with that person thinking that they're financially stable. But this person that is building something significant that can transform not just you and him, it can transform even multiple generations, but you get short-sighted because of the context you're placing financial stability to be. So it should be a huge consideration, but not the end-all be-all.
Yeah, I do. I have a question though. So I know this couple because they walk up to me and they confided in me. So they are both doing well. The husband and the wife, they are both doing well. They're working. But now the problem is the husband has refused, or I don't know, or maybe he's taking his time to have like another saving, like a joint account with the spouse. So it's kind of causing a lot of friction because their wife is really looking like into the future. Like she's a kind of person that she believes that they should have an account, like a joint account. If it's that maybe the husband doesn't trust the wife, at least they could like do like a co-signing thing that if they want to withdraw any money from that account, both of them can go ahead and withdraw it. But now the husband is kind of being sluggish. I don't know if it's that he doesn't want to, but what kind of advice, because I'm going to make them watch this video, what kind of advice can you give to a husband like that? Because to me, I feel like, I mean, you're happy right now. You see the money coming in, but as if we're in the US. Today you can be happy, having it all, but tomorrow something can happen, like the blind side of it. So what kind of advice can you give to a man or maybe a woman too in another case like this to help them really see into it, like how to save?
Yes, so I cannot give blanket advice, but based on that situation, every home runs differently. I have clients who each person is individual, financial planning.
Right.
They don't do anything jointly, and your home still runs.
Right.
There are others who they do everything together.
Right.
Your home runs. So in a situation like that, we have to look at what is the underlying reason for that fear of combining income, because there has to be something. Do I trust this person? Have I observed them mismanaging money in a way that scares me? Or what is my money mindset? Did I grow up in an environment where my mom or my mom never asked about how money, my dad did everything. So there's some underlying context until you find yourself in that situation, asking them the real questions. You cannot really just say this advice will help them. No, you need to be able to, because even financial advising work, most often you become a therapist, you become a psychologist. So in your situation, what is currently working? What is not working? Is saving together going to take them to another space? Absolutely not. It could. Communicating like, okay, what are the things we're planning for to do together? And what are the dreams I have on an individual level? That is what will make the most difference. Because let's say my plan is to retire back in Cameroon. I'm focusing on building a space in Cameroon, but you're planning to retire here. You have different dreams. I have different dreams. Where do we find a common ground? It's only communication and transparency. They are not being transparent to each other.
Yeah, in that case, like the communication is lacking. They're not really being transparent. Like one person just feels like, spending their money the way they want, no communication, nothing. You can just sit and you think maybe there's money sitting somewhere, right? But at the end of the day, when you ask about that particular money and all you hear is they probably use it for something without your knowledge. So in that situation, like what can I really tell her? Like, what can she really do to convince her spouse? Because she is the saving type of person, but then now the spouse is the one that, is kind of like still, he's still struggling. He likes to save from what I got. He likes to, but sometimes out of the blue something comes up. Yeah, so
I think it goes back to something that is said, but he tied it more to finance. I think there's the problem in the relationship, and the underroot is trust and communication.
Yes.
And if there's that lack of trust and lack of communication, it'll be very difficult to kind of steer them in the right direction. Because again, if I trust that, and there's another thing about playing on other, like we're a partner, right? You play on my weakness, I play on your strength and things like that. When I met my husband, I am terrible with bills. I would forget. Like we'll sit and I forget about paying the light bill. We'll just find out that there's no light. That's when I remember, right? Because everything I do, I have to set an alarm on my phone to remind me. So, but he was good with bills. So you stay with paying the bills. I have all the strengths. He would play into those strengths. And then, so we balance off each other like that. So if he is a person who is not good with savings and his wife is good with, they could have that conversation. Okay, you are good with savings. Okay, let's have this percentage of my salary come into this account, directly to this account when my paycheck clears, right? So that you know that that's there. Because she sounds like that kind of a person who likes to have funds for rainy days, like reserve fund, which is what I like as well. Because like you said, jobs here are today you get up, you have a job, tomorrow you don't have a job. So I like to have a reserve fund for at least 6 months, especially when you have a mortgage, so that when you lose your job today, at least you have money for mortgage for 6 months and your bills while you're looking for something else. So maybe she's that kind of a person as well, right? So it's to have that conversation, let him know these are my fears. My fears are, I'm scared that if you lose your job and lose my job, this is where we're going to find out. So that's why I say we should have this reserve. So I don't need to know how much is in your account, but can we agree on a percentage that goes into a joint account that we can both see that's a reserve, so that if things like this happen, our kids are not starving or we are not out in the streets because we can't pay our mortgage and things like that. Again, transparent conversations.
If using the example is a gift, I would think, and tying it with the topic, I would say financial stability, it does matter when picking a partner. That's in the case where we look at financial stability beyond cash in bank. Financial stability is how the person manages finance, what potentials the person has to actually generate some finances for the family, how their savings. I mean, some people go to the extent of their credit score. So those things, when you consider those things, you have discussions about them before picking a partner. You will know who you're taking. You know their mindset, even if they don't have it at that time. From the conversation or from knowing the person during courtship, you will know if this person can actually get into the circle of the kind of person you wish to be with us in the rest of your life.
And to your point, it's not just about setting a bank account. The vision has to be communicated. Why are we doing this? What will this lead us to? So I talk mostly when I work with clients, it's about visualization. What are we trying to build? So this money we are putting here, what will it relate to in the future? So we know we're working towards a common goal. Because saving money without having, without identifying why this money is being saved, it won't move certain people. So if I have
like money is just sitting there and I want to go and joke, I cannot go and joke away. That money just sitting there.
Each dollar has to be earmarked for a purpose. So this saving is an emergency fund to take care of an emergency. This money will go into the kids' college fund. This will go into our retirement account. This will go for maybe savings towards buying a vacation home or towards our down payment for mortgage. We have to earmark each dollar so it has a purpose. But once that conversation is had with transparency, we have to be able to let each other, also mistakes will be made. But how do we hold each other accountable without actually putting fingers in our, in our eyes? That also plays a key role. Because also you can look back and say, okay, how has maybe your friend handled a financial situation where the husband was irresponsible? What was her reaction? Has it made him now that maybe he's making more money, is he looking at her like, well, I wasn't making as much, this is how, So there are those underlying factors that you coming from outside, you won't be able to identify the perspective you're bringing this from is from what you've been told by a friend. If you go to the husband, he may say something else.
That's right,
So
yeah.
when I'm
That's
working with
right.
couples, a lot of times you're also doing counseling.
Right.
You know,
So do you have like some success stories of some individuals or couples who had very, very terrible situations that was a situation like this that is going like south and you
I mean, if not, you'll
succeeded?
be out of a job.
I'm not the counselor. I'm not a therapist. Yes, but my work doesn't just hinge on only that counseling aspect, because couples counseling is something which goes beyond just financial aspect in a relationship. Is just one piece, right? There is emotional, there is physical, there's a lot of different facets when it comes to that relationship. But to your point, I've had couples, my experience most often when it comes to finances, when a man usually makes financial decisions, it's about a household, right? For my wife and my children. When a woman makes a decision, it's for my children. You understand?
Mhm.
So most often, that's
You understand?
Yeah. So
Can the ladies understand? I
I-
want the ladies to confirm.
No, I understand, and I can boldly with my chest defend why.
So and I'm not coming from a perspective of who loves the children most. That is not the context I'm trying to have the conversation. My context is about the mindset. And then culturally, from where we're coming from, we are made to understand a man is supposed to take care of, all
The
the bills,
provider.
the provider, the financial, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, a lot of times when you're dealing with certain people, they didn't grow up in an environment where maybe your dad was a breadwinner. The mom was winning the bread, but the dad was the one who the kids saw as providing, right? So in that context, you have to understand where that person is coming from. So to your point, I've had a lot of clients who, when they come to me, some of them, they have joint finances. Mostly the people with joint finances, they excel faster compared to those who don't communicate and who don't align to a shared vision when it comes to their finances. Take, for example, if both of us are saving towards a kid's college, if I am doing something separately, you're doing something separately. If we were earning, let's say you were saving $100, she was saving $100 towards the same goal, but you didn't communicate. If that $100 is earning 10%, it's 10% on $100. But if we had $200 going into that account earning 10%, we have a better outcome.
Yeah.
So there's always an advantage when two people come together to achieve the same goal.
And I'm
You
not
know.
trying to cut you, but in line with that, we once had a guest who was talking about financial literacy, and she advised that even if you both have a joint account, you should also have individual accounts
I
in
think that's
case
what he's
of.
also saying.
Yeah. So what I was saying in context to what are the things we're combining to do together? Because I have different dreams on a personal level. Your spouse will have different
Yeah,
dreams on a
agree.
personal level. At the end of the day, we are making money, right? I go to work, it's my hours I put in. You go to work, it's your hours you put in. So if we're looking at an ideal situation, it will be okay. We have each individual has separate accounts, then we have a joint account to take care of the things that are related to the success of this family. But not every home runs like that. You may have a different mindset of how money is supposed to be managed. Your spouse or your partner will have a different mindset. So how do we come to a common ground and say, okay, this is what will work for the family? Because there's some men, they don't have joint accounts, but when it's time to pay bills, they just give the spouse, the partner, the money to pay. And there's some women, they don't have joint account, they do the same thing. Their share of whatever is supposed to be paid, they just leave a check or so. So each home is different. But to your point, in terms of clients, I've had a lot of success stories where when I sit down with a client, first of all, I try to understand what is your short-term goals? What are the mid-term goals, 1 to 5 years? What is the long-term goal for their family collectively? Then individually, what are some goals you have for yourself? So that when we are designing strategies, we align on the common goal for the family. So now the man sees that, okay, this is what we as a family are trying to accomplish. So the friction completely disappears because we know, okay, this is why we need to do this. It's not now the spouse forcing him or her to do something, but to know this is the reason why. So until you are able to break things down in a visual manner, you say, okay, hey, what about the children? Do you want your kids to go to college? I say, yeah, what kind of, college? Is it MIT, Harvard? So now you start creating a vision. Say, what about retirement? What would you like? Where would you guys like to retire? They won't say maybe come on. They want to say, oh, America and so on. But together, where would you like to, So now they know, okay, if we want to retire, take for example, say in Cameroon, what are we supposed to do? We need to build a retirement home. So now that conversation shifts from who is saving what to what are we doing to attain that. Right? It takes away the friction.
All right, we'll take a short break and then we'll be right back. Welcome back, and we're still on the topic of how important is financial stability when finding a life partner. And when we talk about this, the whole time you guys were talking, right, I just kept thinking, do men? I think I see more and more men doing it these days, and some women kind of frown upon it. But is it a thing that, because when the question is thrown out there, and even your very first thing you said about you meet a man who has needs but he can afford the Friday night dates or taking you to Spectrum and stuff, that is the expectation of the man being the provider, and then the woman considering that all of these pleasures will be coming to her. Now, I'm a woman, you're a man, right? Is it a thing where men are considering these days also, or they still just have on their hat of I'm the provider, doesn't matter what she brings in? Is it, or is it just women that think if the man's gonna make them be in the streets with the children?
That's a very good question. It depends on the caliber of man you're dealing with.
Caliber of man or
yes,
Man.
that you're dealing with, because I don't like using the term higher value man.
You don't?
No.
Why?
No. Context is context is essential to break down any conversation. Why do I say this? In today's world, a high value man is only linked to the financial earnings of that person. But high value goes beyond just the monetary aspect. It goes to your spiritual foundation. It goes to your moral foundation. There's a lot of things that comes into play to make you a high value person. So now, when a man gets to choose a woman that he settles with, financial components rarely ever play a key aspect. Because I'm not looking for a woman who...
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
If she has her own, it's a plus, right? And then also, the most important thing is her mindset.
Let me correct some. But we've heard of men who say, "I only want a career woman." Why are they looking for a career woman?
What does she bring to the table?
That part.
Yes. So
I didn't want to.
So understand,
because that particular phrase, the way they
understand. Like I said, context is essential to have any meaningful conversation. So if I ask, "What do you bring to the table?" It's not from a financial aspect. That's why I said the context of a high value man is something that goes beyond just the monetary aspect.
Even asking for wanting a career woman as well.
Why is a career woman essential? So the why behind that should be what we focus on.
Most of the
because
times,
number one,
is a financial.
Not necessarily, because I want to know, is this woman driven? Does she have a good head to be able to manage things? right?
I
So
think
it's,
you want to see answer.
no. Most
Yeah, that's right. No, most of the times, right? Like when you check the arguments and everything, you read it. It's mostly about
finances.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I
like the
mentioned.
finances.
I know.
Like
I know
what
how
does
Michael
she
pour
bring?
everything on me.
You rarely
Yeah.
see men.
Yeah.
Let's go to the topic.
reasoning
I think he's the
you.
exception.
Let's talk about this. What people bring to the table,
Mhm.
and I don't know if we have the answer to it, but tell me what you think. Is it Dr. Dre? I may be wrong. That got divorced from his
Yes.
partner, wife, and then there was this whole rage on social media that she was asking for too much, right? And so her argument is while he was out there bossing and stuff, she was holding down the fort and taking care of the house. And so that is not quantifiable. That is not seen as anything that's tangible. If you're not pouring in financially, if financially the man is the one with the job and everything, and then the woman stays at home or just kind of supports, or does just not as much as the man. When separation time comes, it's like she's not privy to that money or whatever, or to some kind of settlement to get her to a place. It becomes such a thing.
Can I answer part of it, and then he can take part of it? Philip has just said when he started that when you work, you have to pay yourself for the work that you do, right? I think I don't know if it's last season, we talked about a situation where I've always said it, taking care of a child is 24 hours care, even if the person sleeps at night, because when that child cries, you get up. It's 24 hours care.
The argument I've heard is he
to-
could pay for help.
But you don't pay for the help.
No.
Whether you paying for the help or not, who is managing the home?
But that's not anything
Because
compared
when you pay for
to
help, the help doesn't just get up. You give instructions to that help and see it through, right? It's just like a manager at work. Does the manager just sit? I'm like, okay, because I have people on that will do the work and they just sit at home and get paid.
Like Philip said, he said about high value man. Men has things that they consider before getting married, same as women. If you're considering a high value man, like he said, it's not just about the man's finances, the man who has integrity, a man who has empathy. If you get married to a man who has empathy, before taking certain decisions, there are considerations. He would think, okay, this man was in the house, this woman took care of kids, this woman did all those things. So even before taking certain actions, a man who has empathy will consider those things.
Let me just break it down and let me just clear it, make it very plain and simple. You are the man, you're walking away, or your family is separating, and your worth is 5 million, and then the woman goes 2.5 of that, 50-50 of what you worked and brought in. Are you okay with that kind heart and consideration?
So it depends on how we've been living with the woman. You understand? People have different dynamics in their relationships. You don't know what chaos, what fights are.
That's giving you a scenario.
No,
now.
I just gave
This
you
is
the
the scenario. This is the life.
Dr. Dre's thing, right?
Yeah,
the woman
that's
was
the
not bringing in as much, right? And he's a billionaire, millionaire, what have you, right? So he's making the money, and now they're separating, and she needs so much, and she wasn't even bringing in money.
So context is essential. Like I always say, context plays a key role. It's not just about being home as a housewife. How do you make that man feel? Because if I'm out there bustling and I come back home, what kind of environment is in the house? Right? Is my life a living hell when I get home? Because it's not money we can work for.
And that's when
money.
you're going to say no to the money?
No, not
if the
about,
answer to that question is all no.
No. Not about saying no. First of all, if we want to quantify the value of a stay-at-home mom, the average annual salary is supposed to be from 140 to over 160.
High five again.
Right? Because
can I do this show for 2 more hours?
You staying at home is not just about you sitting and folding your arms, especially if you have children. You're the cleaner, you're the cook, you're the accountant, you're the
doing a lot.
You're the psychologist, you're the everything.
All these things play a key role.
Right.
But now, are we being realistic in terms of what they are demanding in that situation? Because if we were to quantify and say, okay, you've been with me for this or so amount of years, my net worth is this. How much of that are you supposed to be entitled to? A lot of times it's unrealistic. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's unrealistic. Because let's say you've been with me and none of my business, you have no clue about it. I'm paying for 2 house help, a chauffeur, security, and everything. We have a cook and all that. You cannot complain that, oh, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm this and that and that and that. Yes, you do all that, but not in the capacity of, say, a stay-at-home mom who doesn't have all this help. Then also, how do I bounce ideas off of you? Because if every time I want to talk about my business, you always shut it down, you talk all kinds of negative things, and I instead use that as a fuel to push me to achieve more, are you entitled to what I got?
I was married to you.
Marriage, it doesn't mean entitlement. That's why I always tell people now, before you get married, especially as a man who has a vision of becoming great, a prenup should be the prerequisite before you say, I do. It has to be. We are the only people who look at marriage as love. Right?
So I was gonna say that.
I think so. You talk about men. Is the prenup supposed to come only from the side of a man, or you
From whoever has the most money?
No, not
I don't
necessarily.
even think necessarily money.
Not necessarily.
Whether the money is there or not.
Because we have to take money out of the equation first.
What's the prenup for? To protect you financially and your assets.
Protection, right? Now think of it. If your intention wasn't about money, will you still get married to that person? So if we let's say prenup takes away the money aspect. Now, do we really love each other, or are we focused on just that money aspect?
Well, that's how a lot of people are rolling, to your point.
Absolutely. So most marriages today, like I said, the term of whether it's high value man or high value woman is usually related to that money aspect. So most people now, when you hear people getting married, they get married for all the wrong reasons. Finances is the cornerstone of every marriage decision. Well, I'll say 80 to 90% of marriage decisions today. Is he financially stable? Is she financially stable? So, but if we have prenup as a prerequisite before we say I do, we can take away some of those, I'll say poor intentions, which is related just to money. Because if I know, okay, I'm protected, you are protected, whatever you've worked hard for before you come into this, it's yours. Whatever we make while we are married, that is what we can split. Then it makes more sense. Now we are both vested in this marriage to make things work.
But then you just said earlier though that if we what you make while we're together as a couple, we can split. However,
Absolutely.
the splitting would be determined by whether or not I was kicking your dreams to the curb or not.
Yes.
Huh.
Let me ask you this. Or let me put the context. Context is essential. We are this is a class group, right? They give us an assignment. You go chop life. You didn't partake in any of the assignment stuff,
you take
right?
one for the team.
Then you come now when it's time to grade the paper, and you want to have 50% of
team.
You understand?
Teamwork.
Is that entitlement or is it supposed
Teamwork.
to
And I think that's more, it's easier when the man earns higher than the woman. But if you turn it, if you flip it the other way, where the woman earns more than the man, and you propose that the woman would think the man is coming to eat where it is.
But for the longest time, I'll say what Ada said when we talked about gold diggers. For the longest time, I've called women gold diggers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. They would still think that she's standard with
and then sometimes I feel like for men who consider prenup, I always feel like they'll not really take the relationship serious because they're like, what are they gonna lose, right? Maybe like when they have a problem, they'll not like make so much effort because now it would be like maybe the woman is there because she's benefiting from some of the things that the guy has, and it will make that woman want to stay there because okay, if she leaves with nothing. I mean, especially for the women who don't even try enough to try to have their own income, but the man, I feel like he's gonna be so effortless to try
so like he's always going to be one
leverage and power,
like one
and not make them commit.
That goes back to what he said, like keeping the relationship, keeping money aside of the relationship, what is left.
I have a question though. When we're talking all of this, right? I think another way that I was looking at the topic is for women, again, this question is for women. This whole topic, right? you have two men in your DM, right? And one man is an odogu, another man is a lover boy. But just the man who doesn't have yet. Vivian hates saying that don't marry potential, right?
Okay.
She doesn't like that. But this person has maybe potential, maybe they have a good education, they're just not there yet financially, but they really, really love you, or you love them, right? And then versus another person who has more. What is the wise decision to make at that point? Go for money or go for love?
So the person who has more doesn't love you as much as the lover boy.
Doesn't, yeah.
So, like I said, I always like.
Do you choose?
context.
Okay, let me take away. Throw my example. Maybe a terrible example.
No, it's a good
He
example.
understands what he's saying. He's just trying to get it together.
Okay.
So it's a good example. Like I said, most decisions nowadays are driven from a financial standpoint, because very few women will suffer temporary discomfort for longevity of comfortable life. Most women will go for that, like I said, instant gratification. Most people want that now. They want Odogu now. They don't want potential Odogu, because potential Odogu, it's a probability of success or failure, right?
I think that's what causes a lot of rifts, right? Like, if you're going to go for someone because you love them, just go. That's why I say I don't like when people marry potential. If you're going to marry someone, like if I see Sam and I love Sam, and I want to marry Sam, and Sam has just one bedroom and his mattress on the floor, that is what I'm going for. One bedroom and mattress on the floor, with the notion that I will work with Sam to build from that one mattress on the floor to a bed and a spring, and then maybe
that's the potential you're talking about.
No. Let me tell you the potential. Women see Sam has an MBA, right? Sam, you're not even motivated like that to go and look for a job, right? But you have an MBA. With this MBA now, you can go and get a job or let's say you just came from Harvard, you graduated from Harvard, you have a degree in cybersecurity, or you go and work at Google. That's what she's thinking in her head. The potential money, those are the potential they're looking about. She's not looking at what you have now. She's looking at that potential. 3 years, 4 years down the line, you were never motivated to go work at Google in the first place. Maybe your dreams have always been to be a musician, right? And then your parents forced you to go to Harvard because they want their dream. You have gone their dream for them. Now you're certain now you want to go and do your music. It's going to take time for you to grow. They work with that potential in their head that you went to Harvard because and then there you 1 year, 3 year, 3 year, 4 year, in a worker, 1 year, 3 year, 4 year. That is where the real comes in. That's the potential that they're thinking in their head, not you as you are, right? I see you, I love you, right? You have your one bed and your one mattress. If I love you, go for that. Go for your one bed and one mattress. I will work with Sam. Tomorrow we'll buy one additional bed, put them. Tomorrow we'll go buy a dining table. That's it. But if you're saying, oh, Sam, maybe, Sam just tried the guy, with all the degree and so, and also tomorrow you'll get 3 cybersecurity jobs. Uncle, who are popular person, come now. All the IT jobs that we're thinking that we're going to flood the market, all of them are gone. Now Sam doesn't have a job. Sam goes to start writing Uber. You become offended. Now you start being resentful.
I mean, the potential doesn't just lie in the degree. The potential goes with how pushful the person is. Yeah. Even if it doesn't work with the field of study.
They tell you story, they're up to the action that they follow.
No. That's where due diligence comes into place. And then you also have to have a deep spirit of discernment, right? You have to go beyond just the physical aspect or just the words. Action also has to
just talk about people who look at the surface. Like this is the generation that we are in, the surface.
So nobody takes time to do any due diligence. Like, okay. And then also, if you're choosing to settle with someone, you don't just look only at the person. You have to go look, okay, the family dynamics, right? How is the family? Because most of us, since we're in the diaspora, we meet someone here, before you know it, you don't run go sign married. Getting married here is ABC. I can get married today. You just go down to the courthouse.
Of course.
No
one is asking any
I have my co-worker left during break, went and signed.
Yes, I came back.
Nobody will ask you questions.
So that's where discernment and also due diligence plays a key role. Because during courtship, those are things, depending on the kind of question and how observant you are, most people get driven by the financial aspect, the shiny things, the bright lights, the good, meal, and the flowers and this and that and that. Those are superficial things, because after a couple of months or after a couple of years, Now you start dealing with a real person. You're seeing the person, they're not putting on a wig. You understand? You're seeing that guy, he has eaten maybe a turning cocoa or plantain. The stomach is now growing. The physical attraction, some of it starts fading away. What are the things that goes beyond just the physical attraction or the monetary aspect? Because jobs will come and go. Market will change up and down. You know, money will go up and down. But what remains is the character of that person. So what character were you falling in love with?
Yeah.
That is the thing. Because Sam having the mattress on the floor, that doesn't define who he's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Who is he now as an individual? You know, what kind of characteristics does he have? And how can he ensure that, you know, the vision he has for himself and you goes beyond that mattress, goes beyond that small, you know, one.
You're saying all of that. What I'm hearing is financial stability doesn't matter.
It does. Like I said, it's a consideration, but it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question. Is that okay?
I'll get this question. I think
I want to pull you back a little bit since we're talking about savings and stuff. So if you want to advise, let's say a family with kids or maybe just a husband and wife, if you want to advise them on the number of accounts that they can have, how many accounts do you think is good for a family to have in order to be stable in the future?
It's not so much about accounts.
Okay.
It's what is it you have? What is the account doing?
Right.
Why do I say this? We can have 50 different accounts, but we're not putting money in there.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference. Let's say, for me, individually, I have life insurance policy for my son. That is where I used to build his college fund. So whether I have money or not, I pay into his college fund.
Right.
I also have my own life insurance policies that I contribute every single month. Whether I have money or not, money has to go in there, right? So every month I have that due diligence to make sure money goes into these policies. So number one, if you're working, you have to have protection for your family. Number one, because life will happen. If God forbid you're called too soon, what do you leave the family with? Let's say you've gotten the family accustomed, say they live in this nice neighborhood, this nice home, but you don't have any life insurance. The mortgage is still $450K that is left. And God calls you too soon. That family cannot stay in that home. So they become homeless. Your kids cannot go to school. So education vanishes. Then let's say you and your spouse, you co-sign on debt, right? Now you are gone, your spouse become liable for that debt. Then the worst part is your income that you were bringing, since you're not there, that income ceases to exist. So that's why I always tell people, number one, make sure your family is insured. Number two, your debt. How are we paying down on the debt? How are we planning to manage our debt to get out of debt sooner rather than later? Because debt takes a huge toll on you based on the interest you're paying to somebody else. Then the next thing is emergency fund. How are we planning for tomorrow if life happens or when life happens? Because whether we like it or not, we as Cameroonians, they'll call you from pay, say, hey, your cousin don't swallow cooking spoon. They need money for surgery. Or, you know, that cousin has fallen into a grave, they dug for somebody else. You know, there's all kinds of craziness. And not just that aspect. Even you here, washer or dryer stops working, car breaks down, the roof starts leaking. Or, like right now, people are losing their jobs in the thousands. So if that happens, what kind of emergency fund do you have to make sure you can take care of your family before you finally secure something? Or if you're starting a business, do you have an emergency fund that will support you while you're getting the business off the ground? And then investment for the future. How are you investing to ensure that tomorrow there will be something that will last you for the rest of your life? Because one thing I see, especially in our community, there are people who have been here 20, 30 years. 55 to 60-year-old and 65-year-old, they have nothing to show for. There is no retirement that has been saved. There is absolutely nothing. There is no asset whatsoever. And imagine retiring at 65 and life expectancy is 81 to 85. So let's say you have 20 years to be in retirement and you are not planned for retirement for 20 years. It means maybe first 3 years you run out of money. What happens? You have to go back and look for a job. But who will hire you at that age? So these are things, when you talk about the account, we want to make sure, number one, protection. What kind of life insurance do we have as a family? The next thing is debt management. How are we managing to pay off this debt? Then the next is emergency fund. What are we allocating to take care of emergency? It's at least 3 to 6 months. Now I even tell people 12 months, because when COVID happened, a lot of people, they were not able to work for more than a year. So at least 12 months. Then investments, whether it's mutual funds, crypto, stocks, whatever, IRAs, retirement accounts like 401k, TSP, and so on. You want to make sure that you have those things and you're diligently contributing into it. Something that you make it as a habit and have it automated so money goes in there. Because the first month it will be difficult. You'll feel pain. The second month you're adjusting.
Yeah.
By 90 days, you're already used to it. So once you automate it, it just goes out into those accounts. So you don't have to worry about all this other 90, 50, whatever, right? It puts you in a comfortable place, at least.
Thank you.
God one. It seems that everything seems to be is about money. My friend has money. He's a big boy in town. But every time we hang out, he makes me pay for my share. He got angry with me that we went to the mall when he needed to buy some things and I picked things to add for him to pay. Mind you, what I added was a nice backpack for my little boy for school and a sweater that says favorite uncle. Which I thought was cute, but he got angry and said I was using him and started recounting that we went to Target one other time and he added things to his cart. These things were not even much and he has the money. Am I wrong to think he is selfish?
Oh.
First of all, what kind of friend?
Yeah.
What kind of friend is he? Is he just, are they dating or is just
A user.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter what kind of friend. The worst thing you can do is count people's money. Because
Yeah.
you're counting based on assumption. You don't know what my budget is. The fact that I have money doesn't mean that I have it for you.
Spend it like
You understand? I always tell people, assumption is the lowest form of ignorance, because you assume I have. Meanwhile, maybe I'm struggling.
yeah.
And in my experience, a lot of times, those people, I assume that they're financially stable. When I sit down with them, I do a financial needs analysis. I see the amount of debt they're dealing with. It's insane. They are struggling more than you. They may just look very shiny,
Yeah.
big cars, big house.
Sometimes makeup. I just
Yes.
People are
they
rich
feel
in,
like, oh, they're
people are
killing
rich in investments and
Yes.
social media, but not cash in bank.
Absolutely. So it's essential. Assumption is a problem. Always ask before. The fact that we are friends doesn't mean that I have to be buying things for, you
Yeah.
know.
And then you don't ask. You just add into.
It's an entitlement first
Yes.
for me. And you're even angry that he called you out and said, I don't. Why would you even follow me to the store and the first thing you're putting things in the cart? I know that we do that, but it kind of cancels out because we buy things for each other, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
if this thing had become a thing where we go to the store or we are hanging out and the fact that I have to pay and then it's become now a thing
you're the
when
one that
I
has
call
the
it
money.
out like,
Yes.
and then you're angry that why now only one t-shirt I take up or because Zuria is a favorite person. Maybe I think that and a cute shirt will say a favorite auntie.
Yeah.
Because
The
no
good
matter
thing
how
is,
close you are with the person,
Yeah.
you should let them know. You don't know their expenditure, how much the budget is for that day.
You have to
I
ask.
mean, don't abuse people's generosity.
Yeah.
You might have a good debt.
It's
Let
very
me know,
common.
I want to take this. Can you pay for it?
Yeah.
It's very common, especially among guys. When they know you have money, most guys, like when we go out to drink, they call you buyer.
Then
Right.
there's Linas.
So they
There's
lean
what?
on,
Linas.
leaners, those who come,
What
they were
Linas?
not part
Come
of
to- yeah.
the crew that was going for the event.
They
So
just,
they just met you at the event and they come and lean before you know. When I
They
used to
drink more
drink,
than the buyer.
so they drink more than buyer. And you, the buyer, they always
You
find
just
a way to
wish-
entertain you so you can keep buying. But
Are you serious?
yes,
Yeah.
it's very normal, common, when it comes to situations like that, every time you go out, because I'm a very giving person, it becomes a problem when the people who are receiving think that you're a fool,
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
right? When it becomes an entitlement, that's where I have a
Heartbreak.
problem.
And if you love
Because I used to go out and every time, because I cannot go out, let's say we go to Spectrum and we are there, we have a table and there is no drinks. I feel terrible. So I want to make sure they bring something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll buy and people will drink, and then I'll buy. And I realized that, okay, it has become
You're
a
gonna
pattern,
routine.
right? So they will come, they will sit and wait. And I was driving 1 hour away to come, meet them at the club. So I'll come, those people are sitting and waiting. I have to be the one to,
Come and buy
order drinks.
because it makes you comfortable that everybody
Yes.
drinking.
So initially, when you're drinking, maybe before I leave the house, maybe I've taken a little bit of a drink. So I'm already in a good place. I didn't think about it. So when I stopped drinking, when I started, going, slowly,
Check a shift your friend.
I came now, I was like, okay, this is a pattern. I look back, I'm like, for the past 5-6 months, it's only me and this other friend that we keep buying drinks, but everyone else,
Is
they
drinking.
have jobs. And they're drinking sometimes it's stupid. And there was one time we said, let's just try and see and say, hey, can everyone put up whatever they have? This guy brought $25. I'm like, you brought 3 girls to the table and 2 other guys, and you're giving $25.
Whiskey that you buy.
A bottle the scotch we was drinking was about $450, almost $500. You're giving $25. So I was like, okay, what does this guy take me for? Then the next time, he was the one, he ordered drinks and then he collected money from everybody. So he got more than enough to pay the drink without him having anything contributed. And then he took some of that money home.
Mind games.
You understand? So he was playing mind games. So when I came to realize this, I was like, okay, we will wait. That uncomfortableness, let's be
shock that I'm beginning. It was a cultural shock when I just came to this country, but I'm beginning to understand this thing where you go out with friends and you split the check. Yeah, a lot of people still take offense to that, but I wish we could do that.
No, my friends don't take offense. My friends don't take offense. We go out as girls, right? I think it's...
But you don't have friends that, as you and I go out, and then you go, I want to cover it, and then no, or like, this is the bill, right? And then you tell me no or yes. But imagine a situation where we go out, and I don't even say anything, and I let you pay, and I don't say anything.
Well,
even before the friendship going.
Because there's people that will use you like that.
Like, we split the bill there. And, Helen is good with that. Like, we are sitting there, the bill comes. Yeah. She's there with her pen and paper. You drink now, tea. You chow tea. She's doing her total, and she's sending the... And it's not... And it doesn't... we don't feel anyhow about it because we expect it, right?
And when we go out...
And this is like a friend's birthday. That we okay, this is birthday. Are we ready to hang out? Yes. We'll pick a day, we'll hang out. But we know that we're going there. We're splitting the bill.
Yeah, when we go out, we actually tell them that it is individual bills. So they start making the bills as they are coming. What do you want? What do you want? It's individual bills. And back to what you said, right? Like how sometimes it doesn't mean that because you assume that someone has money, you can just be billing the person or just doing everything. So there was a situation, no, not really a situation. So one of my aunties, she was graduating in Cameroon, but this auntie, we see her and her husband. It's my uncle though, married to the woman. We see them as this couple that are well to do. So when we are talking about that kind of uncle that you need help, it's always there. So she was graduating, but then I sent her money. I didn't have to because I already assumed that she has a lot of money. But I sent her money that day. Congratulations. You can assist, maybe you can buy some drinks for your guests. Oh my God. The way my auntie thanked me, I wasn't expecting that because I was giving her that money. To me, maybe it was small, it would not even mean anything. But she was so grateful coming from somebody like that. So that's just to tell you that the people who spend all the time, they also want to receive because they want to feel that, they want to know how it feels for someone to even think about them, to send them something. So we should never just assume that because someone has something
and those people always think they can take their entitlement. Their pride that should have had, the pride that should have had is like here.
I always say even the Lord wants to be praised, right?
Exactly.
Appreciation goes a long way. For me, it's not only about giving, it's the appreciation from the giving. Because there are people who you give to, and the level of appreciation they show you, it motivates you to give more. But it doesn't stop that. When that person gets to a stable place that they don't think about you as a giver. I've had a lot of people stay with me, and mostly when someone comes and stay with me, I give them 1 year. We don't pay any bills whatsoever. I've had a lot of people, some of them come stay, and when you tell them, hey, that 1 year's
Time
gone,
more.
they have a problem with you, right? And there's been one who came, he didn't even stay with me for up to, I think it stayed for maybe 3-4 months. And, got him into IT, he got a job. Every now and then, he'll call me, hey, bro, I just want to thank you. Hey, bro, I just sent you something. When I used to drink, say, hey, bro, I just sent you something to get you a Glenfiddich. Because that's the scotch I used to drink. Hey, bro, I know it's your birthday. This is a little something. Things are not as good as you used to. But take this. Or when he comes down to Maryland, say, hey, bro, where are you? I say, I'm home. What do you do for house?
I might take you out.
Me told me. So now that I don't drink, when he comes, you say, this thing you don't drink. I don't even know what to buy for you. So I told him I drink tea. He will come down, with a pack of tea. So when you look at someone like that who appreciates you giving, tell me, why will you not find ways to continue to do more for him?
And that's something people have to learn, especially when someone hosts you. You have to learn to voluntarily do stuff.
Yes.
You can just sit and decide that, this month I'm gonna handle the bills. I'm gonna not really the mortgage or the rent. Maybe I'm gonna do the utility. I'm gonna do groceries.
You have
Those
a good head on your
little
shoulder.
things.
Yes.
Not everybody thinks like that, trust me.
Oh,
Okay.
I have stories.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so sorry we're at time.
Yes.
So before we go, going back to Philip and financial literacy.
That one is breaking some shit.
No, it's not a question. It's just I know he has a lot of knowledge, and the people out there who are dying who need this knowledge. How do you pass it out to them? Do you organize workshops? How can they reach out to you?
Seminars.
Yes,
TED
we have a
Talks.
lot of workshops. Our organization, Wealth Financial Group, and our team is Wealth System Builder. We provide free financial workshops Monday through Friday, 3 times a day. I think it's 2 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 Eastern.
We'll put that information.
Yes, I'll provide the
It's free.
links. So you can register. It's free. All you pay is your time,
Wow.
right?
Is it online or the
Yes,
person?
we have it online. Then also we have workshops in my office in White Marsh, Maryland, on Wednesday night and then Saturday morning. So from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Saturday, then on Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. But the workshops online, we cover 6 key areas, which is very detailed. I don't think there's any other organization that does it like we do. We cover every aspect of personal finance, so you can, get to understand and then educate others.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And from time to time, I post on social media.
Social media
Not as
handles.
active as I used to be, but yes, I do so.
Okay, you give us your social media handle so we can share.
Yes, I will.
We'll make you stop. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions or anything for Philip before we wrap it up?
No.
Before we wrap it up, we have to play a game, but before
Okay.
we want to appreciate you for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
So what you want to say?
Sorry. No, I wanted to talk about, because he says he works with World Financial Group, right? And I have a history with them, but maybe we'll talk it off camera. But thank you so much for joining. We were talking about financial stability being a key factor or not when finding a life partner. Answer is what's the
Let me
answer?
do or die.
Not a
That's
do or
awesome.
die thing. It's a consideration. Context matters.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So now, before we let you go, I have a game
Okay.
where we take your money. That's the purpose of the game.
All right.
It's called Speak Out. So I'll shuffle these cards, and then you draw from it.
Okay.
So the card
Draw
you
like
pick.
in the air.
No, you take a
Big
draw.
one.
Oh, okay.
You pick one, and then
I'll try to pronounce.
yes, if you get it right, if we
Then
get it
Vivian
right, so
was
you're trying
saying-
to pronounce. No, don't say it out loud. You have to pick a denture
Okay.
to mask him out.
It
Do you
goes in
need
like
help?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the bigger side goes inside.
Yes.
Like
Side.
this.
Okay. No.
Let me show you.
Straight.
Like this. No, there.
You really are?
Sam, you want to show him what's
Yeah.
your take one?
Okay.
Then you have
Because
to
I don't
put your
want to
hand.
miss my
I kept it.
mess up
But
my
I
makeup.
shouldn't keep it. So you hold like this, the bigger side is like,
Hmm. Like
And
yeah.
then the other
It's-
side.
Yeah, I have to.
He's trying to laugh.
Let's see.
Maybe I should make a rule that you don't
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah, the smaller size stays outside and the bigger one goes inside.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hold it like this. Yeah, just
Your
yeah, just
No.
both the,
You're trying to fit it like
Up
this.
and down.
Hold up. Ah.
Ah.
There.
yeah.
And then push the other
Pull
side.
this one. Hold on. Hold on. Ah.
Ah.
There.
There you go.
All right. If we get it right, the burden is on you to read it out so we can understand. If we get it right, and then we give you $2.
Okay.
If we don't get it right and if you fail, you give us $5
Okay.
because it was your fault. So let's go. You have 1 minute on the clock.
You want to see the title?
What? What?
What?
A
What a?
lunch.
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 Nah, you can say that.
Lunch.
What the
What a
ranch?
ranch.
Lunch of learning.
What a bunch of
What a bunch of coyotes.
Learning.
balloon.
Learning.
What a bunch of
Learning.
Right.
balloon.
Learning.
Balloon.
Learning.
What a bunch
What a
of
bunch of learning.
Baloney.
Yes.
I'm bragging rights.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for winning.
You're our
Have
first
to
winner.
get
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. All right, this is a wrap for the episode today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment, like, share,
subscribe.
We're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, the Banter Brigade. Thank you.